Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, yourself.
Good.
Thank you for the privilege of being able to contribute a few words. From my own perspective, just reading from your caption there, um, what changes has Peter Obi brought to the Nigerian political space?
Yes.
I personally believe that Obi has added what everybody is yearning for. We've always been, as a country, yearned for equity, a sense of belonging. But the country has not functioned like a country for a long time, for the longest time, because the whole idea of citizenship, it's operates from an optical illusion perspective. It's very the Nigerians thought of citizenship, to me, I feel is an optical illusion. It's very cyclical. It depends on who is in power, which government is in power. But when it comes down to why we are a democratic society, you realize that the government of the people, for the people, by the people, that definition itself has never been accomplished. Now, Obi brought about what everyone has been yearning for. In the last 8 years, I don't think Nigeria has ever been this divided for what the previous regime make us to understand. The previous regime, the last regime, just made the average citizen understand, know their place, that, you know, um, a certain demographic of people or a certain tribe have what I would call superiority over everyone else. And that in itself is really false. It's a false narrative because the political elite in the Nigerian space have always utilized either tribal sentiments to divide as a form of distraction to the citizenship, to divert them from focusing on what is the reality, what they should be engaging themselves on. If it is not the tribal sentiment card, they will play the economic, socioeconomic status card. If they don't play that, they will play the religious card. And all of these things pretty much was evident throughout the course of the political campaign. If you look at all the countries in the world that are prosperous, where most people, if they had to choose a second place to live, they will choose any one of those countries. And I can literally tell you, if it's the UK you want to choose, that's in your mind, if it's Canada that is at the forefront of your conscience, or if it's the United States, there's something that makes those societies worth looking at. Now, as far as the Nigerian context is concerned, those things are absent because who is Nigerian working for? Just like uh, the one of the panelists, Mr. Lexi, has said. Is there anything false about what he's saying? Name one part of Nigeria where life is comfortable. Name one part of Nigeria that is safe or that has a better economy. Name one part. And it doesn't matter if it's religion. Name one church, name one religion that gets a fair, that has a better advantage than the other religion. These are all instruments that the political elite use to divide the country. At the end of the day, good governance, equity, justice, what makes a country a country? What will make you stand at the doorstep of any other country and say, I'm a proud Nigerian? And they can reciprocate, looking back at what your country is offering you as a citizen, and they can acknowledge, welcome. We don't have that. Unless we just want to fool ourselves and talk from today to tomorrow. If you look at the current administration, and I'll tell you this, and I'm not afraid to say my mind, all those that are surrounded, all those that are made, that are literally at that corridor of power, the potential ministers to be the existing ones that have been, nominated or elected. Check their background. Those that are surrounding the current president, go and check their background. And all those information are out there in the public domain. You cannot hold a position of the chief of staff when you have a criminal record. Here, okay, whether it's in the United States, for you to hold any job that you can call a professional job, let's not even talk about the, public service. Your background speaks a volume. And if you have anything that can be considered a crime in your past, you're not going to get those positions. And if our corridors of power is surrounded by men with, shady past and all those kind of stuff, what type of future, what kind of hope are they going to really give the people? Can anything good come out of something rotten? Can anything good? So for me to trust anything that the government is pushing out there, let's start by those who represent those policies and whatnot. And everything that's been pushed out so far, whether it's the student loan program, whether it's the subsidy, the oil subsidy, every decision that has been made so far, let's be realistic. It's not about the people. Okay? It's not about the people. Where is the people in all of this? Where is the people in all of this? And government is all about the people. Whether it's infrastructure that the government is responsible for, whether it's, taxation, whether it is, social programs, it's all about the people. We are having a community engagement right now. This is what we are having. But I'll tell you, where the Nigerian space is concerned, anything that is remotely related to a voice of dissent or opposition, you'll suddenly become a target. You're branded. If you're not branded a terrorist, you're branded an agitator. Every productive society has a voice of dissent. The parliament, they're all not having a kumbaya party. Okay? And nobody's horse is God, including the president. They are all public servants. But in the Nigerian space, the president is God. Aside from the Almighty God, the Nigerian presidency is the most powerful God anywhere in the world, with the way the country operates. At whose expense? At the expense of we, the people. Doesn't matter what tribe you're from. So if somebody wants us to go back to what it used to be pre-independence, let's look at that. If you're really thinking about humanity, we've made so many mistakes over the years. Must we wait for another 300 years? Like those whose country have fought bitter wars and today things are working. Must we make the same mistake? Because those are some of the things that people will use as an excuse. Oh, Nigeria is also a 62-year-old democracy, and for that reason, we give ourselves a pat on the back. The world is moving. We're at the technology age right now where AI is about to revolutionize the way things work, including how wealth is created. But yet, we have barely come off the ground, and we're still debating certain things that are germane. The country is not working. And if it takes us to go back and say, you know what, let all the Igbos stand back, let all the Yorubas stand back, we can hold ourselves accountable. It doesn't mean that we want to destroy the country. It's easy for me to hold my brother accountable at home. I speak his language. Okay, in Yoruba, they said Orile-ede, the land that has a language that is common, and everything else that makes you one person. Doesn't mean that I don't want to form unity. I don't want to be united in the front as a citizen with an Igbo leader. What's my business if an Igbo man is a president? If the country is working, who cares who my state governor is in Oyo State if everything about Oyo State is working? Who cares about how Ikeja functions when those in charge of the local government are doing their jobs and the residents of Ikeja are getting the benefit of what citizenship should be all about? It's not so in the Nigerian context. And those are the things we ought to be looking at, and stop celebrating mediocrity because they can articulate very well. The benefactors of free education have now destroyed our educational system. The benefactors of the healthcare system, just in the year 79 to 83 alone, Jim Wobodo was there, Jakonde was there, Ajashin was there, Bola Ige was there. I don't care about everything else. How did the country function? How did every one of these states function? We had competitive, way of life. An Igbo man is not my problem. The politicians want me to hate the Igbos. Okay, the politicians want me to hate the Fulanese. The politician wants me to hate my next door neighbor so that I cannot hold my counselor accountable for his job. Okay, so let's go back to that. Accountability is it's very simple. It's not complicated. But the Nigerian politics want to redefine what governance should be and how we analyze governance. So I really appreciate your time. I'm very passionate about what I say. If I've offended anyone or ruffled any feathers, my apologies ahead of time. But hey, Nigeria, the one Nigeria idea, it's not working. Let's go back, retrace our steps, whatever it has to take, whether we rename the country. Look, everything that's wrong about our country, we need to visit layer by layer and change them. And nobody should be demonized because they are asking for accountability. Common sense is only common to those who can see it. And the truth, you don't need to defend the truth. It speaks for itself. Okay? And in the last 30 days, we have a president who has gone AWOL in a substantial meeting that he's supposed to attend in Paris. Hey, that's what we were told he's going there to do. To do. That's one of the agenda. But he was missing in action. Someone who is supposed to be speaking, he was missing. If his health is an issue, let's be honest. He has a health issue, and let's deal with it. By the end of the day, I'm sorry, if the seat of power is surrounded by men with shady past, I'm not sure I want to put my egg in the same basket to think that anything good can come out of a rotten apple, okay? And hey, a thief is a thief anywhere in the world. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Wow. Thank you so much, Crownfit. Sometimes why I like to do this is that even though I have first wives, which all of you guys, sometimes new wife will come up and it will be like, wow. So thank you so much for your view. And this is why we do this. We want to hear viewpoints that may not be the same as our own, but enrich us. And we feel better when we end this and we leave. Thank you so much. Electricity, you want to say something? I want to go to life issues. There's someone I've not seen before. Maybe she's been here before, but let me go ahead.
Okay, let me give her the space. I mean,
no, you can go ahead. After you, I will go to her. Go ahead.
Okay. It's on record that I gave the lady space, but Dr. Dami said I should go ahead. So I still remain the gentleman as concerned. Now, all protocol observed, I respect to this particular segment that we are having. It's so easier for us to blame our leaders, and yet the citizens never wants to take responsibility. So it's kind of shocking to me that we're blaming those in the power of corridors. we cite America, we cite other countries. But can we also look at those countries we are citing, how their citizens respond when their leaders misbehave? Do they just sit down and argue the way we argue? Do they not hold their legislators accountable? Let me cite an example here. My first example will be the current situation that happens to Boris Johnson during the COVID. It is the people that cried out, and their legislator, the parliament, took it up because they are representing their constituency. Because their constituents were not happy that law was made, and those who made the law were thinking that they are above the law. People died in the context of that. So today, Boris Johnson was stripped of all, he resigned as a prime minister. He was stripped of all parliamentary privileges. Do we think we cannot achieve these as Nigerians? We know what to do. All we do is argue, blame ourselves, blame the leader. I've said it to listen, let me tell you this. Now, it's going to shock most of you. In 2024, wherever, 2027, I beg your pardon, if things remain the way they are, I will campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu because the people, we the citizens, we fail to do the right thing. You can't blame Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with due respect. With due respect, and nobody should blame him. We all are learned people here. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, if not for him, Buhari will not be president, we use it as a comedy, to sing, to dance, whereby we're supposed to go and meet our legislator and say, listen, this is what this man said. Under the Constitution, that is an alleged gross misconduct. What do? We laugh, we play. We are concerned about Bola Ahmed Tinubu's health. Under the Constitution, we are supposed to go and meet our legislator, and they're supposed to take it up in the parliament. We are blaming our leaders. We are excusing ourselves from blame. Come on, let's be realistic. That's why I say all protocol observed. We can't continue doing this dance anymore. We can sit down here from now till the kingdom come and talk this thing. It ain't gonna happen. When we are making comparison, using America, France, Germany, this and that, we have to look at how their citizens behave, either in the country or outside the country. For the fact, Mr. Crownfit, you said Nigerian president is like a god. That is incorrect. It is we that make these people God. And it is we that will take that title away. The man is not powerful, for crying out loud. It just made us to believe that they are powerful. But the power belongs to the people. But the people have not exercised that power. It's not God. Neither are the legislators God. We keep arguing that it is difficult to recall a legislator, something we've not tried. We keep looking at this difficulty, this impossible, this helpless. We are so helpless, we can't do nothing about our situation. Oh, Nigeria is not working, this and that, for crying out loud. Have we done? I use the word we, everybody inclusive. What attempt have we made than sitting down here without achieving, I say this with due respect to Rudolph, who owns the channel, without achieving anything? What have we achieved all these years? Oh, our mandate was stolen. Who stole your mandate? Nobody stole anybody's mandate. The matter is in court. So let the court address it. In the meantime, that the court is addressing, what are the people doing? We are sitting down saying, oh, they stole our mandate. Oh, they stole our mandate. Oh, they stole our mandate. Doing nothing. Which mandate did they steal? Let's be realistic here. We're all learned. We are all adults here. When we have situation in our life, we address that situation. We look for ways and means to fix that situation. Nigeria is not beyond redemption for those who think the country is beyond redemption. No. And I will close my argument and addressing those in diaspora. And I will cite 2 instances in the Holy Bible for those of you who believe in the Bible. Even if you don't believe it, you will agree with it. The story of Esther and the story of Nehemiah. These people find themselves in a privileged position, and they had to use that privileged position to save what? To save their nation. We sit in a privileged position, those of us in diaspora. None of us believe we're going to sit down here today talking about Nigeria, because when most of us left, we say, oh, we've forgotten Nigeria, goodbye to Nigeria, that God-forsaken country. Here we have today, we are sitting down talking about Nigeria. But we sit in a privileged position for us to use that position to push whatever message and educate the people back at home in respect to Section 60, Section 1, which none of us have tried. Oh, some say it's been tried before in the context of Dino Melaye. Please, you need to go and listen to Dino Melaye very well. That was power tussle in the parliament there. It got nothing to do with the people. It step on toes, they want to get rid of you. Now, the highlight of this is that about Section 68 and Section 110, which they use within themselves. Yet the people coming here crying out, we cannot recall people, we've not tried it. Come on, let's be realistic. We are all learned. We can read and write. Forget about PhD or whatever it is. The Constitution is as simplified for anyone who went to school, primary or secondary school, who can read and write to be able to understand that. Now, Rudolph, you say you want to make a debate. Well, I don't know in what context you want to make that debate.
I want to ask you a question. Who is your legislator? Who is your legislator electricity?
Olumide, with due respect. Olumide. Let me give you a story. You can take this personal.
Hold on.
Earlier when this thing happened.
I can take it.
Please, electricity, please, electricity, please, on my honor, please, electricity, please, electricity, please, on my honor, hold back. Please, electricity, please, electricity on my behalf, please, on my honor, on my. Yes, please. Okay, it's okay.
I am listening to you. But you see, we need to call a spade a spade. If we don't behave ourselves, then we have to put. We have to put ourselves under checks and balance. This is a public space. This is a public space, and there has to be a level of decorum. I run a channel. I don't tolerate nonsense on my.
No. I'm serious. Who is your legislator?
Okay,
it's a simple question. You answer him.
Rulo, did you mute me?
Yeah, I muted everybody because this is getting out of hand. Olumide.
I'm not hearing you, Rudolph.
Yes, Rudolph.
You can hear Olumide, please. I don't enjoy removing people, so you guys know it's not one of the things.
No, Rudolph, I'm just trying.
No, wait. No, Olumide, hold on. I think maybe it's your nature, so I'm trying to adjust. I'm trying to adjust. What I mean is the interruption style. If you look at what we're doing here, nobody has done interrupted people more than you. I didn't ask you to ask me a question. You didn't ask me, should you talk? Nothing. Sometimes I let it fly, I let it go, but it's not every time that it should be done.
Okay, Mr. Rudolph, respect.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
okay, respect.
Yeah. All right. So where is guy? Okay, Crownfit, you wanted to say something. I want to go to live issues, but just
you said it's me.
I just wanted to respond to the gentleman. I'm not a unity beggar, and he has made some very blank statement that is very generalized. You don't know my background, you don't know what I do, you don't even have the privilege to know who I am, but it's very convenient for you to throw out words like we're not doing anything. The fact that we are having a community engagement is a positive reflection that we're trying to make and effect change. My question to the gentleman will be for him to share what his ideas are. If you think people are being complacent and all they do is talk, then please provide an input as to what direction you think the citizenship should be leaning towards, or what policy we should be addressing. The question about who his representative is germane, is vital. He doesn't know who we are. And I really, really don't take that response with any grain of salt. Okay? We're not just here talking trash. We're trying to effect change. There are millions of Nigerians who will not have the privilege, who don't even have the privilege to be on the panel, but they are listening to everything that we're saying. Some will be catching up 3 days from now, some a year from now. But if the conversation itself reflects a path to a positive change, those type of comments that are coming out of that speaker, that last speaker, is pretty utter rubbish, I'll call it. Okay? So don't just throw out blank statements. It's not. If you want to ask what I do for a living and how have I contributed to the change in the Nigerian space, we can have that conversation on the sideline. Or if there's a general, topic that we can all contribute and let everybody feed into that discussion, then we'll get to hear all our ideas. But for him to come because you have a channel, I'll be interested to go and see what you talk about on your channel and see if I can get anything positive.
Yes.
Is Nigeria working for you? How can we make Nigeria work for us? We're having a reflection, and we cannot throw that out the window. Today, if the president, the prime minister, listen, I don't need the premier. I live in a country where we have provinces. I have never seen my premier in the last 20 years, any of the premiers, but I know where to find them. I know the offices of where my representatives are. Nigerian leaders are not available to the members of their constituents. They're heavily guarded and they're disconnected from we, the people. That in itself is a sign that something is not right about their style of governance. That's one. They're heavily guarded. Regardless, you have to go through protocols for you to even reach a member of your councillor, to reach your city councillor in Lagos. Name any councillor that is readily available to their people. You have to bypass people, and that's not governance. It's not about the people. It's about turn by turn. Everyone wants a piece of their turn, and they want to be a pariah. They want to oppress the people. They want an avenue where they can literally suppress the voice of we, the people. Obi himself, if you look at I'm not an obedient, and anyone should not think, yeah, this guy talking must be an obedient. I'm not an obedient. I'm not a member of the Labour Party. I'm just looking at Nigeria from the context of, okay, are we heading in the right direction? Who is better to speak for the people? Who amongst all these candidates are saying things that in a political, in an electoral process, are we hearing what should be coming out of those who we think should be in a position of leadership? And if you look at the entire debate, from the beginning till the last day that the vote was casted, you realize that everybody was just busy talking, making sound bites. The only person who articulates what he will do to make a change in the life of Nigerians is Peter Obi, and that's it. And if we all agree that is positive, okay, those who believe they can build on it, yeah, let them continue to do their work. But I would go back to the outlet where the things that we're looking for is supposed to come out of. Who are the people at the corridors of power? Who are those surrounding the current president? Okay, the case in the court may last 4 years. Who knows? And it may not. But this is where we are today. What can they give us? What hope? What policy can they prefer that will change Nigeria for good? That will change the land space? Is it the tribal rubbish that they're trying in Lagos? And they're very vocal about it. They're vocal about it. So I'm not a unity beggar, and I'm not going to, subscribe to any of this foolishness. We're all learned people. Yeah, I'm learned. I'm not stupid. And what we're doing here is positive. And thank you very much, Mr. Rudolph, for keeping the outlet for people to voice their opinion. And anyone else who disagrees with you, yeah, voice of dissent is part of the game. But please don't redefine, what we should be doing here, because you have not offered anything that I've heard so far. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Beyond what I'm supposed to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for indulging me.
You're sucked in, and we hope that you keep coming and you'll be part of. Anytime you're free, you can